Frank, I'm still shooketh by Steelers Commanders. It was a 28-27 win. It was a game that came down to inches and Russ getting the Commanders to jump off sides. But let me tell you, for me, it was so incredible to see the Steelers, when they had to score a bunch of points, be able to do that. This was definitely for guys like me that said Russ was washed, this was one of those eat a little bit of crow days because Russell Wilson looked really good. That offense was able to get what they needed done. Man, I was impressed by both teams, but really impressed that the Steelers were able to match them point for point.
I mean, the Steelers are good. I don't think they're going anywhere. And this Russell Wilson story is awesome. I don't think it's really not gotten a lot of enough attention. Everybody buried Russell Wilson. Yeah, there's a few people out there who claim that, I knew all along Russell Wilson was going to be good with Pittsburgh. I guess. Okay, great. I didn't. I don't think a lot of people did. This looks like the Russell Wilson we remember from Seattle. It kind of got lost the last couple of years how great Russell Wilson really was with the Seahawks. 9 Pro Bowls in 10 years. He's had the weirdest career arc of, he's probably a Hall of Famer after 10 years. Completely plays himself out of the Hall of Fame with his 2 Broncos years, which were absolutely miserable. Is he playing himself back into the Hall of Fame discussion now? Because he looks just reborn. He looks like old Russ. He's playing well, confidently. That moonball he threw to Mike Williams was, it's just that's Russell Wilson. That's what he is so great at with the deep ball. It just seems like prime Russell Wilson again. It's so fun. I'm enjoying this because it's one of those stories you just don't see this happen very often, where a guy's left for dead at 36 years old, I believe he is, and then he completely reinvents himself.
You're our historian around here. You always pull great comps from the history of football. To me, tell me if I'm wrong here, though. Isn't there like a Kurt Warner angle to this where Kurt was everything until he was nothing, and then all of a sudden he was everything again? Like, it feels like that's kind of what we're seeing, and it speaks to finding the right coach-quarterback combination like we talk to all the time, and it also speaks to a little bit of resilience for us. Like, this is an offense that was willing to be patient and then take their shots. And when they did that, man, Russ was able to convert on those spots. And sometimes he's on his back foot with 2 guys in front of him about to just get absolutely hammered. And he's still dropping that ball, that moon ball, right into the laps of the receivers. Like, bringing out the best in George Pickens. All of a sudden, Pickens looks like that guy, right? Like, there is this moment here for me where it's very Kurt Warner-esque, where it looked like all of a sudden, no, it's broken. It was all the system. It wasn't the quarterback. And then you get that late resurgence in the career with a new quarterback or a new coach, new system, new team. And you see exactly how good the player can be.
Absolutely. Great comp. That is the comp. It's Kurt Warner, who, when he was with the Giants, we were like, oh my goodness, this is ugly for Kurt Warner. And he doesn't make the Hall of Fame without the Cardinals years, right? Like, I mean, he went there, took them to a Super Bowl, played pretty well, great chemistry with Larry Fitzgerald and all that, had some really, really fun years there. And you could I don't know where this Russell Wilson story is going, but right now, what quarterback play was bad today, right? Like, we saw a lot of bad quarterbacks. Is Russell Wilson a top 12 quarterback right now? I guess so. Like, it's crazy to say that when we thought he was totally done, but here he is.
If he is, then does it still make sense that the Broncos got rid of him? Is there no egg on Sean Payton's face through all of this? Like, it feels like there should be. If Russ goes out and has this transcendent, oh my God, I can win a Super Bowl moment with another head coach, do we not have to look at the quarterback whisperer and be like, hey man, you might have missed on this one?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think Russell Wilson fits what Sean Payton wants to do. Like,
that's fair.
Russell Wilson is a very improvisational quarterback, see it, throw it type of guy, where Sean wants a guy to run the offense. I think he got his guy. Like, we'll talk about Bo Nix in a bit. But so I kind of give Sean a little bit of a pass for that, because I just don't think they matched well. Like, that quarterback and that coach could equally be really, really good, but just not good together. So I think that's what happened. So I don't blame the Broncos too much for what happened. I do blame Nathaniel Hackett for the year before that, for sure. But we're going to look at this, we're going to look at Russell Wilson's career, if this is where he's going, and we're going to just kind of eliminate the Broncos stuff, right? We're going to say, well, the Broncos screwed that up, not Russell Wilson. Look, he came back with the Steelers and won a division title.
That's a really good point.
And that. I think he should be comeback player of the year this year. I think he should be leading that race. We've talked about that before. It is just a fun story. And we talked about this with Jory on a couple Wednesdays ago, just how his we all all of us kind of take shots and make jokes about his sunny disposition all the time. And he's a bit of a, he's oddball as far as quarterbacks go and NFL players go. But I think that mentality really has helped him. I don't think he ever really got down on himself. He just kept plugging away, kept working, kept doing the high knees on the plane to bring up that example. And here he is. And I just think it's really, really cool. And the Steelers, look, I thought the Steelers were going to stink this year. I think you thought the Steelers were going to stink this year. And they don't. They're a really, really good football team. And at this point, as good as the Ravens are, I'm sitting there wondering, like, maybe they can just hold off the Ravens and win this division. And the Ravens are a wild card team, as crazy as that sounds.
He's going to carve up the Ravens defense, right? Make no mistake about it. But he's going to eat against that defense. That defense, when you look at yards per play, yards per drive, you look at all of the advanced metrics on that defense for the Ravens, they get carved up by quarterbacks. And the way Russ is playing right now, there's no reason to think he will. And then, like, quietly through all of this, there's like a swagger, rightfully so, to Tomlin. Like, Tomlin is walking around the building saying, you know what? Y'all questioned me? Like, you guys actually had the nerve to question what I was doing at the quarterback position? By God, he's right. Like, there is just sort of you got us on this one, Mike. We were wrong about it, Coach. Like, 100%, 100 times out of 100, he has found that special sauce in this team that has the Steelers. Like, right now, neutral field, if you're just sitting there any given Sunday, there's no reason that the Steelers can't beat everybody in the AFC.
I'd agree with that, actually. Yeah, there's no reason not to. I mean, when you got TJ Watt on defense and he's such a difference maker, that defense is so good. Offense is playing well. Mike Tomlin, if he wasn't a Hall of Famer before, he's kind of punching his card right now with this season, right? If they do go on, win a division, even make the playoffs, to say he got Russell Wilson off the scrap heap. Everybody was saying you're a fool for benching Justin Fields right now. What are you doing? Look at your record. And he's right. And the Steelers fans I know anyway, have this weird relationship with Mike Tomlin where they seem to always want him gone, but every year he's getting absolutely the most out of what his roster gives him. Like, I just...
Please, God, Steelers, I'm begging you, Steelers and Steelers fans, please, God, fire Mike Tomlin. I am begging for this to happen.
Within 30 minutes.
Like, it would take, Brady would call him and be like, hey, man, you want to come out to Vegas? Like, look, y'all want to fire Mike Tomlin? Please, just do that, and then just do it on the private jet while he's headed straight to Vegas and can't talk to anybody else. Like, that's just, if you get Mike Tomlin as your coach and you have a problem with it, that's a you thing. Look in the mirror. You've lost all perspective.
Yeah, their next coach isn't going to be as good as Mike Tomlin. I can guarantee you that, whatever he's done. And I don't think it speaks to, we talk about bad organizations a lot, right? Well, there's something to be said about, we're like, oh, the Steelers are never going to fire this guy, whatever. He can't win Super Bowls anymore, blah, blah, blah. There's something to be said for the Steelers saying, no, we know what we got in this guy. We're not, he's going to be our coach for 20 years, and that's totally fine. There's been times during the past few years when I've even been like, man, maybe it's done for Mike Tomlin here. Maybe it is time to turn the page. No, the Steelers are right. They know what they got in Mike Tomlin, and he's a heck of a coach, and they're having a really, really fun season.
And he's 52. Mike Tomlin is 52.
It's crazy. Yeah, he started so young. I mean, I remember seeing him at the combine, and like he walked by and he's wearing like a leather jacket and jeans or something. He just looks like the coolest dude in the room, you know. Like,
but if he
was a young guy when he started this,
if he wants to roll for another 20 years as the head coach there, he can. Like, that's just. That is what, and in 20 years we'll still be saying, Tomlin's never had a losing season. Like, that's the one nugget we're going to hold on to. I don't know why we used that voice.